So hello everybody, it's me, the Excellent Reviewer. You're hearing me for the first time talking about Monday Night Raw, everything that happened after Monday Night Raw. I usually don't do that, but I have decided to do it for this special occasion because this was a very, 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 very important episode of Monday Night Raw, uh, following TLC. So I'm just going to talk about the major implications because this is mainly Survivor Series discussion because a lot of stuff has been set for Survivor Series. A lot of stuff has been set already just from this one episode of Monday Night Raw. A lot has been set for Survivor Series. Um, so let's talk about Monday Night Raw and the first thing that happened. And I apologize if I go in and out because I am sick as of this moment right now, and I'm trying to get better every day. So if you hear me coughing every now and then, it's because I'm sick. But Kurt Angle started off the show, and he basically was saying he's all like, "Okay, we are going to have some huge Survivor Series matches." And the matches that he announced were Natalia against Alexa Bliss, both women champions against each other. Then there's also the Miz against Baron Corbin, the Intercontinental Champion, going up against the United States Champion. There is, of course, the Usos taking on Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, both tag team champions, and then the big main event, which is, of course, Jinder Mahal against Brock Lesnar. And I'll tell you something, I like this format because they haven't done this kind of format in like I have not that I can remember that they've done this kind of format where they have the champions of each perspective brand, and they have them facing off again against one another. They have the Usos against Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins. We wouldn't necessarily be able to see these kind of matches, but sorry about that. Thanks to Survivor Series, we're able to see these kind of matches. Um, so yeah, all those matches I am excited for. I am excited for, and I'm gonna be talking about Jinder Mahal and Brock Lesnar later on when I get to the segment. Uh, and when Kurt Angle was announcing these matches, first of all, he mispronounced Jinder Mahal's name, Jinder Mahal. I just thought that was worth mentioning. And then here comes the Miz and Debar, Sheamus and Cesaro. And then they're like, we're gonna attack Kurt Angle. That's basically it. And then here comes Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, and all of a sudden AJ Styles, he came out of nowhere. He's like, oh well, I'm here. So he like was there, and they ended up having a 6-man tag. I didn't realize. I was wondering why AJ Styles was there because it seemed like a one night only thing. It seemed like a like I didn't see the logic of having AJ Styles there. It wasn't until later at the main event segment that I realized why AJ Styles was there, and it made a lot of sense once I knew that that was happening. I just thought that was great. Also, in this episode, they had Asuka take on Emma again. I don't understand the logic of having Asuka face someone that she already beat. I don't understand why Asuka has to face Emma once again. She already beat her at TLC. So what is the point of her, fighting Emma again? That's one of the things that baffled me. I was just like, but again, Asuka picked up the win. Asuka picked up the win, and hey, that's all you can say. That's all you can say. That she picked up the win. That she's at least winning matches. She's at least winning matches, and that's great that she's winning those matches. We still we still have quite a while to see how Asuka turns out in detail. How she like we're just getting a minor glimpse of her. We'll tell whether or not she is a flop or not in a few months from now. Um, and then Alexa Bliss comes out, and not for Asuka, different segment. Should probably address that. Yeah, she just comes out and she gives she's all like her whole thing like, oh, I am the goddess, how she's taking on Natalia. I thought that was great. Thought that was great. And like how she's just like, oh yeah, I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best. And then Mickey James came out and she did something impressive, because I know it is incredibly hard uh to walk in high heels. Like, I know that that's hard. I know that that's hard to do. But yet Mickey James was able to she was able to jump up and give a DDT to Alexa Bliss, and I was just like, wow, that's impressive. That's impressive that she was able to, jump up and do a DDT in heels, because from all experiences that I know, it's hard, to walk in heels, and but she was able to do it, and she was able to look good doing it. And now we get this confused me, and I know I'm not the only one. I know I'm not the only one that's confused in this whole entire thing. But Kane came out and he was giving his whole reason why he attacked Braun Strowman. And it basically came down to the point where he's like, I am the only monster on Monday Night Raw. That's not where the confusion lies. The confusion lies was before he returned. Kane was a SmackDown superstar. Kane was a SmackDown superstar. And I don't understand. I don't understand why like it's little things like this that sort of make the brand split in WWE nowadays. It shows what's wrong with it. The fact that Kane was on SmackDown last time, and all of a sudden he just became a free agent, just like John Cena, being able to go to both shows and do whatever he wanted, because Kane is on the same level of John Cena. But yeah, that's my only thing about it, is just Kane saying that he's the only monster. They might do a Survivor Series match, but I don't think they're gonna do a Survivor Series match, just because Survivor Series right now is looking very much like SmackDown versus Raw, very much looking like that, and I don't think that they're gonna add anything for Kane against Braun Strowman. I don't think they're gonna do that. And he had a match against Finn Balor. It was all right match. I thought it would have been better because Kane picked up the win. He gave Finn Balor like 3-4 choke slams. I thought it would have been better to have Finn Balor pick up the win. But yeah, it was all right. It was all right. Preferably, like I said, Finn Balor should have picked up the win. And then finally, we're not done with Monday Night Raw. We're not done with Monday Night Raw at all. But we get to the Brock Lesnar segment where Brock Lesnar responds to Jinder Mahal, and this was everything leading up to it. I would assume it would be the main event segment, but it was not. We're gonna get to that later. But yeah, because Brock Lesnar, he comes out. Of course, Paul Heyman, he's just like, he's comparing. He's all like, he thinks that it's funny that Jinder Mahal, and he has every right to think it's funny, Jinder Mahal, who barely survived Randy Orton, who barely survived Shinsuke Nakamura, is challenging Brock Lesnar. And he's just like, of course, Brock Lesnar accepts your challenge, because and he also compares Brock, and he's like, Brock's destroyed everyone, while you have just barely with an inch of your life just escaped with the WWE title. I thought that was great, and of course, this is going to be something to look out for. Like, and as much hate as people are giving it, as much hate as people are like, oh, it's Jinder Mahal against Brock Lesnar, I actually am looking forward to it. I don't think it's going to be a good match by any means at all. I just think that it's going to be something worth watching to see potentially the car wreck. Now, this is the question that I'm posing to you, the people that are listening. This is the question that I pose, and that is the fact that, who do you think is going to come out on top of that match at Survivor Series? Is it going to be Brock Lesnar, who Vince like protects with all of his life, or is it going to be Jinder Mahal, another person who is very well protected and has beaten Shinsuke Nakamura as well as Randy Orton? He also like he's been on fire, and no one has been able to touch Jinder Mahal. So the fact is, this is what's going to happen. One of your world champions is going to look a little less weak. There's no denying that, because let's look at the situation right here. If Brock Lesnar beats Jinder Mahal cleanly, it's going to be like it's going to prove to the world that yeah, Jinder Mahal without the Singh brothers can be defeated. Even with the Singh brothers, he can be defeated because it's Brock freaking Lesnar. So there is that. And then there is the other situation where Jinder Mahal miraculously picks up the victory against Brock Lesnar. That is insane if that is slated to happen. Could you just imagine that? Brock Lesnar, who is on he's been in an incredible streak. You can't deny that. He's been an incredible streak, and he's the guy that first beat The Undertaker. He destroyed John Cena. He defeated Goldberg at WrestleMania 33. And yet he loses to Jinder Mahal. He loses to Jinder Mahal. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine the reaction the WWE universe would give? It would first be utter shock. And then it would turn into rage, because say what you will about Brock Lesnar, that he's a part-timer and he does suplexes, but he is generally a really good wrestler. He is a very good professional wrestler. And the fact that if he were to lose to Jinder Mahal, that would make everyone cross. The only possible notion that I could see where that does happen, where Jinder does beat Brock Lesnar, is if they do the same finish they've been doing for all of Nakamura's matches, and that is, of course, the Singh brothers coming in, like, distracting, and that is the only thing. That is the only conceivable way where I could see Jinder Mahal picking up the victory and beating Brock Lesnar. But even then, it'll make Brock look bad, because at the end of the day, Jinder Mahal beat Brock Lesnar. So they're I believe they're booked into a corner. I mean, it's a match that's worth watching and worth investing. I know I'm invested in it, and I want to see who they pick. It's like John Cena against Roman Reigns, but like a less better version of that. It's going to be like, who are they going to push forward? Are they going to push forward Brock? Because the plan is to have Brock Lesnar defend all the way to 34, my bad. All the way to WrestleMania 34, and to have him lose it to Roman Reigns. That's the plan. And you got to believe that losing to Jinder might put even a little bit of a stop to that plan. To have Jinder Mahal come out on top and beat Brock Lesnar. I don't know. I like to think that they will do the right thing, and then they'll have Brock Lesnar go over, because he is the right situation. He is the right answer. Put Brock Lesnar over. Not because he needs it, but because it makes sense. It makes sense. He's Brock Lesnar. You're not going to have Brock Lesnar. It's like if Brock Lesnar was put into a match with Curtis Axel, and then Curtis Axel won. And it's not going to happen. So, the natural thing would be for Brock Lesnar to go over. But then again, WWE has proven time and time again that they're going to do whatever they want. And that they'll throw a swerve at us, and it'll be a hell of a swerve. Need I say more than Jinder Mahal winning the WWE Championship? Jinder Mahal winning the WWE Championship. No one saw it coming. I didn't see it coming. And yet he did it. And WWE was like, yes, we're gonna do this push to him. We're gonna push him to not to the moon, but we're gonna push him over Randy Orton. And so it's not off the table 100%. It is not off the table 100%. That is where I will leave Brock Lesnar against Jinder Mahal. I feel as though I talked about that enough. Yes, but we're just gonna have to wait to see what happens at Survivor Series for that match and the whole build up to it. It's not 100% off the table. And okay. So then we had, okay, I'm going to be honest. No one really cares. I don't think anyone cares about Jason Jordan and Elias Sampson. No one really cares. Why? Because Jason Jordan is boring. Elias, he's something. Elias Sampson. Who wants to walk with Elias? Who wants to walk with Elias? No one really cares. I don't care. I guarantee you that the only people that semi-cared were the people that were in the building that night, and not even they care that much. The reason why people aren't caring for Jason Jordan, I don't know, it's just, this has been an incredibly bad angle. It's been incredibly bad, no pun intended, but he is a bad angle. And the fact, like, I'm not slamming or dissing on Jason Jordan, because Jason Jordan's a really good wrestler. He's really good. But the fact is, he has no character work other than the fact that he is Kurt Angle's son. What makes him different? What makes him different from like any other wrestler on the roster? What makes him different than the jobber he jobbed out? Like, what makes him different? There's no concernable character with him. And in a company that's built around character, and entertainment, they have completely dropped the ball with Jason Jordan. I thought when it first happened, it was a little strange. I'll tell you that much. It was strange, but I just thought that, that they would pick it up and that it would be a good angle. But it's not. It's been falling flat. Why? Because Jason Jordan has no character. He'll get mad, but that's just a tiny little thing of what we can see. We need to see character development, character interaction. And this isn't the only part of Raw that is having a problem with that. It's also the cruiserweights. The cruiserweights are having a huge problem with the character development. I have said this, and I will repeat it until they fix it. Because they had a 10-man tag match tonight. These cruiserweights are single-handedly one of the most talented sets of wrestlers that we have in the WWE right now. They are talented, but they lack character. Because I can't tell you the difference between Drew Gulak and Tony Nese, other than the fact that, Drew Gulak is like no-fly zone. What's the difference for those that have been watching WWE for like a year? What's the difference between Noam Dar and Tony Nese? You can't find anything different with them because they haven't been given the opportunity to shine. They haven't been given clear story objectives. They haven't been given clear characters of what they are. They're just there. The only person, like I have said, that adds character to 205 Live, that was before Neville, but now that Neville is gone, it's now Enzo Amore. And you can love him, you can hate him, you can do whatever you want, but he is bringing eyes to 205 Live. Some people that have never even seen 205 Live, they know Enzo Amore, and they want to see 205 Live because they want to see what Enzo Amore is going to do. And yeah, like I said, 10-man tag match. No one really cared. Why? Because no one cares about the cruiserweights. I'm not saying it to be mean. I'm not doing that at all. But it's the damn truth. No one gives a damn about the cruiserweights. Why? Because they're boring, they're bland, and they're repetitive. And that is one of the things that Monday Night Raw really needs to fix. Kalisto ended up picking up the win. For those of you that care about 205 Live, they ended up picking up the win. I don't think I don't think going into Survivor Series, that there's going to be a match for the cruiserweights. I don't think so, because SmackDown has no cruiserweight division. Has no cruiserweight division at all. They might do a spare, tag team match. Oh, and also speaking of tag team matches, I forgot to mention, because I've been going all over the place. Went back to when I was saying about how Kurt Angle announced the matches, the Baron Corbin against The Miz, the tag team matches between the Usos and Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, Natalya against Alexa Bliss, and Jinder Mahal against Brock Lesnar. He also said that there are going to be 2 tag team matches, the traditional tag team matches. And they are going to be one for the men, like 5 of the best Raw superstars against 5 of the best SmackDown superstars. And then they're also going to do the same thing for the women. That's going to be something to look forward to. Who is going to be on that team? And they even had a triple threat match in the night to see who was going to be the captain of Team Raw. And it was against Bayley, Sasha Banks, and Alicia Fox. Alicia Foxy, baby. Foxy. Like, no, I'm Dara. I don't know if I'm doing that right, but Alexa. But yeah, it was a triple threat match between Bayley, Sasha Banks, and Alicia Fox. And lo and behold, who would ever thought that Alicia Fox picked up the win? I didn't think she was going to pick up the win. Why? Because she's Alicia Fox. I mean, like, I'll tell you this, she's entertaining because she's quote unquote crazy. She's like, she's crazy. But other than that, I wasn't expecting Alicia Fox to pick up the win. I didn't think anybody was. I think a good person to have led Raw, like when I saw that Bayley, Sasha Banks, and Alicia Fox was going to be in that match, I just thought, if anything, Bayley would pick up the win. That was my thought. Like, when I first saw it, I was just like, oh, I think Bayley will pick up the win. But no, out of nowhere, Alicia Fox picked up the win. She picked up the win. It was like an RKO out of nowhere. And now we get to the main event segment. Leading up to Survivor Series. This whole episode has been about Survivor Series, Monday Night Raw, and Survivor Series, leading up to everything on Monday Night Raw. Honestly, this is one of the best segments I've ever seen on Monday Night Raw in quite a long time. So, it goes with Shane McMahon and Kurt Angle, who are in the ring. No, Kurt Angle is talking about Survivor Series, and then all of a sudden Shane McMahon comes. Shane McMahon, first of all, tiny little nitpick. It sort of, I think it sort of tampers and a little bit destroys the aura that Shane McMahon had in the Hell in a Cell match, because Shane McMahon was like brutally taken out. He was brutally taken out by Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. But the fact that he is now rallying the troops against Monday Night Raw is something that I think it throws it a little bit into a curveball, because of the fact that, he was like set to be out for like weeks, but like all of a sudden he's back in a short amount of time. And also, I wanted to bring up the fact that he's just like, he quote unquote took Raw under siege, and this explained so much. It's explained a lot why AJ Styles was on Monday Night Raw, because this was planning. And he came in Shield style. With the Monday night, but Tuesday Night SmackDown, the SmackDown Live brand. And they came in and they essentially destroyed everyone. Everyone that got in their way, they destroyed, and they took out single-handedly. There was so much greatness, because right now you could see in this level that they are putting SmackDown Live into a level like they are a credible threat, when WWE has always preferred Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw has always been their little baby, but now Now SmackDown Live is the threat because they came in and they started destroying anyone and everyone who was in the locker room, who was in the back. Anyone and everyone who was there, they started to beat up. They started to destroy. There was so many possible match contenders. I mean, like there was a tiny moment where Chad Gable attacked Jason Jordan. He's just like, this is the guy that I want to beat up, that I wanted to beat up for a long time. It furthers that story of Jason Jordan and Chad Gable and how Chad Gable felt after Jason Jordan left, even abandoned Chad Gable, that Jason Jordan did, to become over to Monday Night Raw because he was Kurt Angle's son. And they just attacked and destroyed everyone. There were tiny little moments and stuff like that. And even the women looked dominant. They looked dominant. There was this moment where it was, I believe it was Sasha Banks. It was Sasha Banks, Bailey. I can't remember the two other women on the Raw side. Sasha Banks, Bailey. Okay, I'm gonna play back the clip. Just because I feel it is worth necessary reviewing. But like I said, everyone was looking dominant. Everyone was looking dominant on the SmackDown side. They had so many of the top players too. They didn't just have like the B people. They had the top players. They had the New Day. They had Bobby Roode. They had Dolph Ziggler. They had Ty Dillinger. They had Shinsuke Nakamura, who I thought it was great to see Shinsuke Nakamura be a part of this. And because I'm looking back at the clip right now, and it was on the Raw side. It was Sasha Banks, Mickie James, Alicia Fox, Foxy Baby, and Bailey, and they were standing up to the guys, and they're like, "Oh, let's see what's going on here." And then here come the women of SmackDown: Tamina, Carmella, Becky Lynch, and Natty. Like, I just thought it was, oh my God, this segment was amazing. They just started destroying everyone. Everyone was being destroyed, and I thought it was amazing. I thought it was the best thing ever that they had. They're like teaming up. They're setting this feud aside. All the feuds that they have on SmackDown, they're setting them aside to take down Raw. And the fact of the matter was, SmackDown was the one that fired the first shot. SmackDown was the one that invaded Raw. There's also this cool segment. There's this cool part where Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, they start jumping. They like jump out of nowhere, but of course they fall victim because, they're vastly outnumbered. This makes SmackDown Live extremely dangerous. And at the end of the segment, it was Rusev and Baron Corbin who had Kurt Angle. Like, they had Kurt Angle, and they're like, they're holding him by his arms. They're holding him by his arms, and they're taking him to Shane McMahon, who's in the ring. And I'm a play the audio of what Shane McMahon had to say, because I feel as though it's worth watching.
At Survivor Series, I want you to bring your gold medal, what's left of your Raw roster, and we're all going to finish what we started. Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
I don't know if you guys were able to hear that, but yeah, Shane McMahon's like, get your roster, get your gold medal, and we're going to meet you at Survivor Series. And honestly, first of all, that leads it open to Kurt Angle returning to the ring once again. Like I said, it wasn't going to be the last time that Kurt Angle was going to be in a WWE ring. It wasn't the last time, because now it's set to be Shane McMahon and Kurt Angle each taking on their own teams. Of course, Shane McMahon SmackDown and his four other superstars, and then there's Kurt Angle with his four other superstars. Who those superstars are, We have no idea, but the potential matchups that we're going to see at SummerSlam is beyond the wall amazing. I mean, just everything that happened tonight was amazing. It was phenomenal. All this stuff leading up to Survivor Series. It makes it makes Survivor Series that much more interesting. Like already within like the first like week of them hyping it up, within the first day of them hyping it up, they have done a miraculous job. They have done a stupendous job. But you can imagine there is going to be hell to pay, because Raw is going to come back. They might come back tomorrow. They might come back next week, but they are coming back. They're going to attack. They are going to attack SmackDown Live in their roster. That much is evident. Whether it's going to happen tomorrow night or it's going to happen next week or the week after, who knows? But it's going to happen. They're not just going to take this lying down. Why? Because it's the WWE. It's the WWE. They're not going to take this lying down. So they're coming. We just don't know when. But all this stuff that's been set up for Survivor Series, I'm officially excited for Survivor Series. Just because, like I said, everything that happened tonight makes it exciting, makes it fresh, makes it brand new. But yeah, that's everything that happened on Monday Night Raw leading up to Survivor Series. I don't have anything else to talk about. Do me a favor, let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. And if you want to hear more content like this on a daily basis, make sure you hit that like, share, and subscribe button for everything. And thank you guys so much for listening and hearing to me talk and stuff like that. Survivor Series is going to look phenomenal. It's going to look phenomenal. I've been Samuel V, aka the XM Reviewer, aka Wrestling's #1 hype man, aka the true champion of YouTube, and I'll see you guys as soon as I can. Goodbye and good night.